Hello everyone, welcome back to another video. Today I'm doing something that I know a lot of you have asked for. We're going to do a little review and or analysis of the Anders vs. TEKKS game. I know this is like 2 weeks old by now, so people are over it. Welcome to my channel. I take a while on things. But I know some people ask for my opinions on it, so we'll give our thoughts. I know some people have done some like reacting to it. I'm not a reaction channel as per, so we're going to try to go a little bit more in depth, just give my thought. Part of it's going to be like reviewing EA, why is the game so bad? I'm going to try not to spend too much time on that because the pros have to do what they've got to do. And I'm always okay with that. I will always be okay with that. They deserve a better game to play because I wish, like every other esport, you're like, oh, I know all these names and I'm really excited about all these people. And like you get to see these matchups. And for FIFA, it's like, or FC, nobody has fun watching the FC Pro events. It's, you know, we could have a really fun esport. But anyway, I'm not going to try to complain too much here. And actually, we'll talk about that. But maybe for another video. No, we'll do that now. So my channel's been a little bit different recently, where I think I've been just kind of complaining about the game. They've had some patches that have really taken it just downhill. I know a lot of the interest in the game has kind of disappeared, and I felt that too. And just, I've also though gotten a little bit more competitive with my results, and I want to try to get away from that and get back to the channel being helpful. So I put out a lot of the tutorials that I know how to make, and they're all still true. And like I'm not hiding anything in any of the tutorials or keeping anything back, so it's all out there already. So you can go back and review like those tutorials, but for anything new, it's kind of hard at this point. So going forward, I definitely want to find some ways to still put out that kind of quality learning content, but I don't quite have like the tutorial mind for it because I'm like, I've already done that one. I can just kind of link you the past ones, you know? And there's a lot of stuff that's hard to generate clips for and all that. So going forward, I want to find a way to maybe like throughout the week. I don't know if we could do it for FUT champs just because there's so many champs games to play per weekend, but maybe the games during the week if we've got time. Like I play, because we're already like almost done with rivals, so either I'm just here, I'll show you the squad just like as an example for this week. I've already just through testing and like playing on Thursday, I'm already 2/3 of the way done with rivals for the week. It's only Monday, we've got till Thursday for that, right? So we could maybe like play a rivals game. I'm currently thinking like, as a benefit for being the live streams, like if you're attentively watching the whole 90 minutes of me playing, and you put like a timestamp in chat, so like, oh, review the 32nd minute, and you know, depending on how many chatters, I'll do like a max of 3. So even if like 8 of you say a different minute, we'll just do like a couple per match, but maybe we play and then we review like 3 minutes from that game, and then we go into the next game. And so it's a way for me to still keep playing and get my, because I've got to get the things done to get the rewards, right? I have to play the rivals games, but we play a game and then I can do a little bit of helping, and then we play a game and I can do a little bit of helping. So that's maybe a, you know, consideration for the future. Let me know if you've got ideas like that. I think that could be a decent way to go about it. And then we just kind of upload the highlights of all of that to the YouTube channel, so everyone who's not in the live streams can still get that benefit, right? But for now, I'm trying to get back a little bit towards that helping side. We're going to take a look, like I say, the Anders vs. TEKKS match. This is partially explaining what they're doing and just kind of like saying, oh, how high level this is, or, you know, how difficult this would be to recreate or anything like that. Let me get my other overlays off. You only really need the background screen. The auto's off, right? We don't need the production quality, which I've heard is pretty poor. I have looked at this a little bit already. And actually, this is something we're going to talk about, because I'm seeing this a lot. There's a skill cancel, but then you get into stop, turn, stop, turn. This is something I've already put out a left stick video on. It is one of the most effective methods of dribbling in the game, where you just kind of, you're moving, oh, prevent, like, moving, complete stop, moving, complete stop. Whether that's turning around with the left stick, or I do it a lot with just tapping L1. Tapping L1 completely stops you. Yeah, we might not do this whole match. I know the end result of this, spoilers, I suppose, if you don't know this match already, is weird physical challenge there, which we'll talk about later too. I think it's 9-3. Anders wins, so high result there. It's a poor pass. Is that a first time pass? Is that why that doesn't work? Yeah, from Tonali. I don't know if he has Tiki base, but definitely not Tiki plus. This is something I've had a lot of people comment on, like, you don't need to be super restrictive with yourself in keeping your players in position. So I do this a lot too, where it's like, yeah, your center back's in the more beneficial position. If you swap them, you just got to keep an eye on the fullback. But as long as the fullback's playing that role okay, You know, there's only one player in the box, and that's already being marked by somebody. As long as she gets marked by a center mid, one of these people here, or as long as one of these two players is retreating back inward, you don't need to keep that flat back four. They will retreat a little bit strangely sometimes. So, like, again, you've got to know the timing of it, and you've got to know... yeah, we're expecting a through ball at some point here, aren't we? Yep, there we go. You got to know the timing, and you got to keep your eye on how the AI tracks back and retreats back into position there. Oh, that was offside. We're expecting a lot of this, because this is the power of the counters. And even the pros are going to struggle to score when the game's back to... not bad. When the I can't speak here. When the players fully track back, right? It's going to be really difficult even for them to score when you've got like your 4 defenders in the box and your 4 midfielders at the top of the box. So, of course, we're just looking very highly transitional game here, back and forth. There's Mbappe far post. Don't turn the audio on. I don't need a replay here. Also, we're going to consider just really briefly the production value of showing the replays. I hate that. Just do multi-streams. I know EA does their thing where it's like only one live stream at a time. I don't like this either. This is fine for like a central hub. It's fine if like FC Pro, whatever this channel is called, if your FC Pro channel is... This is FC Pro main, and so it's a way to keep track of everything at once. That's fine. But I also want an FC Pro 1, an FC Pro 2, and FC Pro 3 that are all live at the same time where I can just watch one specific match, because this is hard to watch now with the overlay there. I don't know any of these other players. You're not helping me get invested in anybody else, EA. I know the names of Anders and TEKKS, and I don't think I've heard of any other of the names on screen right now, which is, again, another complete failing of EA Pro, FC Pro. So, come on, fix that at some point, EA. But back to the game. That's enough on the production value. A little bit of a space left open here between the fullback and the center back. But I think you're just trusting that this center back, that Stam, can get back there in time. So it might be one of those, like, it looks like something that's open to attack, but if they do attack it, it's not actually vulnerable. Ooh, just barely intercepted. Are they both in 4-4-1-1? I don't care yet. I'm not interested. This is not the match I clicked on. Oh, do we come back to a goal having been scored? That's a long time spent there, too, and we missed Anders scoring a goal. I know it was in the bottom right, but I can't be bothered to review it when it's in the tiny little corner there. Let's see. Yeah, I was expecting a lot of that, too, that movement on the wing. We've seen almost exclusive... I think I just saw Anders score with... what was it? With Yamal, so I think the right mid finally touched the... Yeah, come on. I guess I will have to watch the thing in the bottom right here. But almost everything's going through Nico Williams for TEKKS and through Mbappe through Anders, so they're not even bothering like switching the pitch at all. I think it's just anytime you allow the opponents to track back, that's when you get the difficulty. He has a little bit of space here, but then watch as they retreat. So as soon as you get that pass forward, now it's like impossible to get through there. So, of course, out wide, they're going to be doing that a lot, like we say. I wonder what instructions they're on. I'm actually not positive myself. Poor clearance, Anders. It's a little bit of unlucky on the physical. We barely get to see it here. Come on. This is just Stam running into Mariona. Maybe because Pina's also bumping both of them. Saliba's AI doesn't track it in time. That I'd be so frustrated conceding that, right? You can see Anders yelling in the bottom left. I mean, yeah, he's not happy, but we all experienced that, right? Just physicality of your own players running into each other. What a mess this game is, right? On the competitive scale, even just nothing you can do. That's what it is. Ooh, that just sneaks through. There's the manually queued run on Reinders, so he stops there. Manually queued on Pina. Just barely through, too. No real surprise. Only because of the budget restrictions. It's not like Pina's the best player in the game. The best striker in the game, but because they've got restrictions for the budget or the types of cards they can use, then putting Pina up top makes sense. This is some other match. Again, Please, yeah. What? Oh, this is the moment I think everybody complains about. Saliba goes in for a tackle, like much higher strength stat and bigger body than Pina, and just the tackle just gets eaten. Like, he performs the input. It's not that the input disappeared. Yeah, Anders, we get to watch him yell in the bottom left, which, I mean, I would be doing the same. I'm not complaining about him for that, at least. Yeah, this interaction is just nonsense. And the fact that like, this is showcased for thousands of people to be watching, absolute nonsense there. Absolute nonsense. Do I think pros know or care about body types? I think they know. I think they lightly care, but it's not the most important thing to them. The reason the body types are important for me is because I play very narrow, I play very congested, and I play very slow. So I don't allow myself to... it doesn't allow for the worst body types because I need the responsiveness. I need to be able to play in tight spaces. You know how Man City, like in their peak days, have like Foden, Mahrez, Cancelo, like every single one of their players is one of the better dribblers in the Prem. It's because they attack with like 9 players every single attack and only leave Ruben Diaz and Ake back or Stones or whoever. And so when you're playing like that, like, of course all of your opponents are dropping back. They're all playing in a back 9, back 10, whatever, you know. It's very tough to attack against that. And so you need your... not space exploiters, because that's Muller's thing with the Raumdeuter. Raumdeuter. I don't know how to pronounce it, but that's the word. But you need your players who can play in those tight spaces, play on the turn, you know, keep possession no matter what. And for the pros, they don't play in those tight spaces. They're always turning away from it, or they're always looking for those counters. They're always looking for through balls. So the body types don't matter as much when you're just high-pace sprinting. They definitely will notice sometimes, like Bonmati here, not the best body type, doesn't have first touch, high dribbling stat, but wrong body type for it. You can tell that was such an emphasis touch, right? It doesn't matter because Rangers tackles with the incorrect foot, which is wild, but Bonmati, nowhere near as good of a touch as one of my players would have taken. Barely matters for them. This is probably the first time that's mattered this match. And so just having the pace or having the other play styles and all that is way more important for them. But again, they're way more on the counter, so... They're also better with attacking movement than I am. More the L1R1 runs, more visibility on the pitch, way more seeing what's actually going on. So the body type's not as important when you can just kind of get your players into space in different ways. Again, if I went pro, would I have to change my style to be more of this counterattack thing? I genuinely might have to. I'm probably not better enough than the pros to be able to get my thing to work, you know, so... Oh, that was a nice Maradona spin. It was a good tackle, though. The tough thing about the Maradona is, like, you're stuck in this animation for so long, so if your opponent has the reaction time, you just see it there and... Oh, it wasn't. I thought it was tackle on the Maradona. No, it was a good switch to Saliba. That's a high-quality switch to get there in time. And that's something, if you take a look at the pros, you'll definitely notice that all the time. I'm not interested in the slightest... Yeah. But that's something you should notice is like the player switching is on point all the time. Manually switches to track or run, sees that Saliba's running out of position, switches immediately, and fakes guarding the pass. But that's really all that's needed in that spot. Just a little bit of, hey, I'm here, I'm going to take that away, and then TEKKS knows, okay, I can't do that anymore, right? Give and go there. Probably goes to Mbappe. Manually queued run is probably going to happen on Rangers next. Rangers stops because he makes a pass to somebody else, so that auto stops the AI from moving, but... What happened to Nico Williams here? Was that... That doesn't look like an L1 run, but... He must have hit L1 and, like, flicked up on him. Why is he running out of bounds? Oh, maybe able to get on through. He's going to take the safer route out to... he does it late to Nico Williams. That already got marked, yeah. And again, you can see Anders switching, like, top tier, consistently. Here's a big thing. He's never controlling one player for that long. He's always switching, he's always changing. That's probably going to be another goal. Mbappe, far post, finesse. Yeah, and that's what all this game is. Gets to the strikers, gets to the wing. Mbappe's fast. It's tough. It's so tough when you just don't have fullbacks that have the same stats. You know what I mean? Mbappe's what, 96, 97 pace. There's no fullback with that pace stat. And yeah, you can put a shadow on, but then you need a fullback with quick step, but then also you can't guard Mbappe's rapid anyway. You need to sort those playstyles out because like there's nothing you can be doing about it. And you just have to be that exposed. It's not like you can defend better with your fullback. Even the pros, you see, just that's all they do. That's all they go for. It's every single attack is the main thing. TEKKS building up a little bit here. You can see him keeping the ball moving. Doesn't want to get pressed at all. Trying to swap or shift all the AI around. Tries to drag somebody in. Sends a run here with Valverde. Just to get an extra player up on offense, I suppose. Sends Valverde forward again. And now he's swapping them. I think he probably pressed L1 on Bonmati here. Nah, that's just the AI run, but they swap back regardless. I would like to see him in this spot. I'd like to see him R1 and flick up. Probably a little bit more back here. Once Valverde leaves the space and he's got nobody occupying it, it takes a while for her to get there. I would look to probably on her, like R1 and drag her up that way. So actually get a little bit more support. So somebody's up here. Maybe you get Pina here. You can do a little turn, press L1 on Tonali and get a through ball there or something. Because here you just get super isolated. You got a little bit of support back, but once she moves and he goes back, then you're really isolated, like 2-on-1 here. So just dragging somebody else who can get additional numbers there is what I would go for myself. That said, we'll move on here. Get out of the drawing menu. Not trying to be in here anymore. Let it go. There we go. Got another counter. Pina out muscle. I gotta wonder, what is... Is this registered as a bruiser? He may be yeah, that looks like a pass. That said, Thuram, you would absolutely think Lilian Thuram has to have way more pace than or way more strength than Pina. At least he's able to get back and recover there. But that's the second time this match that Pina's just stronger than a center back. It's a good little move there. Ooh, poor from Saliba. Yeah, that should be punished. What is Anders yelling about here? What is he upset about? Not even like complaining about Anders here. I'm genuinely curious what he's trying to see. Is it Saliba's movement? Maybe that's what it is. I can't see anything else here to complain about. This is poor from the AI. Saliba's role is probably defender plus or defender plus plus or whatever, you know. And you would think defender would be the role to manually mark the space. I mean, he's a center back. Just because the right back or just because the left back vacated here doesn't mean he is now a left back. You know what I mean? So him, unless he's doing the second man press, and I don't think it shows if they're second man pressing on the camera feed, but unless he's manually doing that, there's no reason for him to be going back that way instead of this way, right? So I get the frustration. That said, this, and this is all it can be. This is all it takes, right? At the pro level. 1306. In just a second. Like, it's literally just a second. That second is all it takes. If he recognizes this faster and swaps back to Saliba, he probably prevents this. Because then this pass is fully guarded. Yeah. This is one of the... It's poor from EA. It's poor from EA. Just ignore him. He yells whenever he concedes. That's fine. That's fine. That's fair. Yeah, we're going to skip the... Yeah. I don't... Anyway, moving on. There's no reason for the center back to be making him concede there. But also, pick your head up and see him, and then you defend it yourself, and it's fine. He wouldn't have conceded if he just did it better, so... Alright, we're second half here. Alright, first half done. We might not go through all of the second half. Like I say, this game turns into a bit of a blowout, so maybe we'll kind of experiment. TEKKS has rushed so much of his stuff. I'm noticing TEKKS a lot getting into these positions where he's lacking something. This seems kind of like a problem maybe with the 4-5-1. He's either got to be doing manual runs to get somebody in support a little bit more. Yeah, even then, though, Tonali and Pina have switched. But like here, he just ran into a corner where he didn't have anything. I feel like the 4-4-1 one for Anders is not having the same problem, although Anders is way more counterattacky. Anders is not wasting anything. Every single time Anders gets the ball, he's getting into a spot like this. Or maybe he's, yeah, we're just, it's this again. Anders is full speed ahead every single time, and no fail. So I think the way to be successful as a pro is just get the ball and sprint forward, and either you lose the ball in your own half, or you get it to their box, and then you get all the threat that is, all the threat that entails, right? Because here we go again. It's the same thing, right? I don't even know how we got here, because, no, I'm sorry, I'm pressing the wrong keyboard button. Wait, is this the same move? It's the same... Yeah, it's the same move. I went back somehow. I'm confusing myself. I apologize, but getting forward here. So TEKKS has been a little bit slower for some of his moves. And like I say there, he's just getting in these spots where he's limiting all of his potential. He's going to go back here for sure. No, he's not. There's the give and go. You knew that was coming. Probably, yeah, not on the weak foot. He could have maybe done that the touch earlier, Anders. Mati, so he's doing the same thing here. TEKKS just did, though he's out wide, but just sprinting forward to make sure you get into space. Now you're in the final. My criticism for TEKKS is just the two things for TEKKS: accuracy. He just keeps passing it to the wrong guy or passing it into Anders. But two, he's just lacking support. He keeps getting in these scenarios where he's like completely outnumbered and then just doesn't have anything. It's a big thing I talk about on defense. Is like, proper defending is, oh, your opponent has 4 chances and then you never one. And so they've got 3 chances and you eliminate 1. And so they've got 2 chances and you eliminate 1. And eventually you get them to a spot. They only have one thing they can do and you defend that one. And then, oops, you know, they're out of options. And it's poor defending from TEKKS, though. This is what I mean, though. TEKKS, I don't know if it's formational or just speed, or it kind of feels like TEKKS is getting more players up the pitch. Like, he keeps committing Valverde, which is really a hindrance for Mbappe. You can't get him forward when, like, it's probably not as bad as if his left back gets forward and it's just Yamal on the counter, but you keep forcing it to Valverde. I don't even think I've seen his Mbappe. It's weird. I mean, I'm comparing the best player in the world with a mediocre pro. That's fair. The recognition needs to be better, though, because he keeps making the same mistake over and over. So I think... Also, yeah, I would not say... I don't know, man. Whatever. He keeps... Like, if Mbappe is the best player in the pitch, Andrews gets the ball to Mbappe almost every single attack. I've seen Mbappe take, like, 1 shot for TEKKS, and otherwise it just keeps going to Nico Williams. Like, when your team is Nico Williams on one side, and Mbappe on the other, like, get it to Mbappe a little bit more? Oh, this is a bit of a weird match for me. But then, the same thing, so, like, you know how I was talking about Anders just gets the ball up the pitch as fast as possible? TEKKS keeps getting into situations where he's out of options. He just doesn't have a way forward, and then he wastes it. And then the defending here is poor. You have to hard commit to one of these things eventually. So what I would do on defense, I'd feint the one way and just full commit to the other. If you just defend like this and you just run straight back, they can make that pass or that pass. Either will be a goal. You cannot close either one down in time. Not at all. So what I would do as a defender is jockey this way and hard cut up the other way. And if they read that and I do this and they pass it down here and just get that opening, then yeah, they score a goal here. It doesn't really matter if Thuram's like 5 yards away or 3 yards away. It's not going to make a difference. It's going to go in either way. So for me, I would bait this, or I would take this away, try to bait that pass, and just immediately like turn up and try to sprint there as quick as you can. I think the more varied and flexible you defend this, you know, you're completely vulnerable, can't do anything by that point. Ugh. Listen, I don't know what TEKKS is rated this FIFA, but TEKKS is one of the better players from previous FIFA, so we're not like downplaying him too much. These are other games I'm not interested in yet. Let's watch how TEKKS loses the ball again. Same thing, Nico Williams once again. Runs out of options once again. Man. It's just something with the movement. Anders' L1, R1 movement is just superior, and I guess TEKKS isn't able to replicate that on his offense, so he keeps just kind of running into the wall that is all of Anders' backline. But like I say, he's just got more numbers back too, so Anders doesn't commit with like any of the back four. Anders gets the midfield forward, sure, you gotta, but like every time TEKKS is on that transition, like TEKKS has to play a little bit slower because there's just not numbers forward. TEKKS would probably have to learn to play with you know, fullback defend and just never bother getting them forward at all. Because I don't think I've seen Llorente get forward once, and I don't know if I've seen Correas get forward at all, so. It's just vulnerable again. What is the switch to Stam accomplishing here? Yeah, that's not the danger. You either need to track this back with Rangers and keep tracking back with him and just do the meta thing of, you know, sprint back with your midfield and don't even bother touching the back line. Or you need to control Carreras and mark that pass, because controlling Stam here is not accomplishing anything for you. And you just get too vulnerable here. Ball roll scoop? No, he just sprints touchline. And yeah, bad first touch. That happens this year. Like I say, here's the full back line of Anders. Don't. Okay, I'm watching the corner again. It's Valverde forward once again. Oh. Anders is actually out of position with a fullback for once. Not going to matter at all. What are you doing, TEKKS? It's just poor. It's just not great offense from him. Idealist. This is... We're probably going to call this here, because I don't think there's anything else to learn from this. If something isn't working for you, don't keep doing the same thing. It's like the most basic bit of analysis I think I could provide, but honestly, that's all I've got for you. TEKKS, for the last, 10 possessions he's had, has gotten the ball to Nico Williams and lost the ball with Nico Williams. It's just not working, my guy. You've got to do something down the left side. I know Anders has scored a couple with Yamal, but I would still argue Mbappe's been the bigger threat, especially if you're committing Valverde forward. You gotta just switch the play. Maybe it'll create something new for you. This is a big thing. The way I kind of play this game is if my last 3 or 4 attacks have not been successful, and I mean like not haven't resulted in a goal, but like lost me the ball where I couldn't have done anything better. If the last couple attacks have done that, the next attack has got to be something different no matter what. The next one, if playing slow doesn't work, I'll play fast the next one. If the ball's been stuck on the right side of the pitch for a while, I'll just get it to the left side just to see if anything else changes. Because if you keep doing the same thing and bashing your head against the wall, it's like it's already been failing you. Do something else. Do anything else. Surprise the opponent. Get something else going. So that's the main advice I've got for TEKKS. Otherwise, the AI is way off. Way committing Valverde, and the whole midfield is not as utilized as Anders. And you're just getting countered. Anders doesn't really have much of the build-up ability. He just kind of... The negative to my playstyle, the way I'm more possessive, is like I lose those big free opportunities. A lot of the shots I take are really close to being blocked by one of the center backs anyway. Whereas like when Anders gets forward, you get those pretty free open shots, right? So Anders is very like high risk but high reward. Yeah, you've got a chance to lose the ball because you're just on the counter, blazing fast every single time. But if you get in behind, you're like guaranteed goal. Whereas the way I play, it's like guaranteed chance, but the goal scoring ability is definitely a little bit lower, per high quality chance you get at the end. And TEKKS is playing a little bit more like me, but not successfully. He's not dragging Anders around, just doing the same kind of down the same side of the pitch and unable to get enough numbers down there to support and get through Anders' press. So Yeah, that's about all I've got. Maybe this was enjoyable for you. If you did like it, let me know. It definitely could be interesting to do something like this in the future. FC Pro is not that intriguing to me, so we're not going to maybe do this, like every week, but we'll see. We'll see the next event they give, or maybe some of the bigger matches, like how Anders TEKKS is a big name. Maybe like the final we'll watch or something like that. Nope, there's a pen. Didn't even get to see it because it's on the bottom side of the screen, and now it's taken away from us. We got a pen. Do we get to see the pen get scored? Or is this just a different game now? It's an entirely different match. I'm so confused. Oh, we get a... we get a replay of the game we were supposed to be watching. Thanks, EA. Anyways, peace. We're done with this one.